What is going on, my crazy 76er fanatics? Thanks for stopping back in for another daily pod with your daily 76er discourse. Guys, luckily for us, Jared McCain has been talking all summer, so we have more things to talk about. But before we get into it, I just want to thank all of you guys for stopping in, watching again, subscribing, liking, and if you leave a comment down below, thank you so much. All support matters, guys, so like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all of you guys. But we got to get into it. Will Jared McCain be ready for training camp? Again, thanks to Jared's activity off the court, you know what his plans are going to be on the court. Jared McCain expects himself to be ready for training camp. He says that everything right now is treading in the right direction for him to be ready at the start of training camp. Now, of course, there are opportunities for incidentals or accidents to occur where he may not be ready for the start of training camp, but he's excited to start the season off healthy. He's excited to get going with this team. He's also excited to finally get some live action, some live runs. Why does this matter, guys? Of course, this is a big news one because Quentin Grimes still has refused to sign. Quentin Grimes is still not an actual Sixer for this upcoming season. So a true shooting guard, maybe a point guard reliever, another on-ball scorer. This team is definitely lacking up until Quentin Grimes does decide to sign. Or Paul George and Joel Embiid decide to step on that court and be 100% healthy. You're going to need offensive efficiency and offensive help from Jared McCain. So the fact that he is healthy, he's trending in the right direction, and he plans to be there for training camp, that's good news for one, because you need him there to get chemistry, to get comfortable, and to get his body prepared for the season. He needs to get into basketball condition. This is a guy who's been rehabbing and recovering all offseason. I'm not sure if he's in the best basketball shape, best basketball condition for an 82 game season, especially after a rookie season where he didn't complete 82 games. Him being ready for training camp is the best news, especially from anyone coming off of an injury, because you still got to worry about Joel, Paul George, and potentially the others. Who knows, who knows, who knows. But another reason why Jared McCain being ready for training camp is because training camp Jared McCain is the same thing as postseason LeBron. Listen, apparently Jared McCain made his name and made his claim for why he should got on the court and should have been on the court a lot sooner last season was training camp. If you know Daryl Morey, if you know Nick Nurse, they don't play rookies. If you're a rookie, you don't see the court up until February, March, April. Garbage time. Jared McCain changed that entire game script by touching the court and stepping on the court early in November and December. The reason why Jared McCain touched the court is one, this team was losing. This team lacked spacing and shooting. Two things that Jared McCain specializes in, shooting and spacing. But most importantly, guys, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, Joel Embiid, and Paul George have all come out to say that Jared McCain was one of the most competitive players during training camp. Jared McCain was the best performer, one of the best performers in the Sixers training camp last year when it came down to shooting competitions. Jared was one of the best. When it came down to 5-on-5 live scrimmages, Jared McCain was one of the best. And some of the game tape that you saw on the court live when he was, in the games, guys, that's the same training camp game tape he was displaying. Knocking down jump shots, shooting the ball when you're not expecting him to shoot, making shots while people are in his face, contested jumpers. Jared McCain showed that he had game last training camp, which is exactly why you want to make sure he's able to play at the same level, if not a better, more prepared level, because his IQ has increased at this training camp. This will let you know if Jared is going to be Jared or if Jared's going to need more time to get back and revert to the success you saw last season. Because again, last season training camp is where he made his bread, his butter, and made his name. Speaking of someone's name, you see the second name there. Kyle Lowry. What is Kyle Lowry's role on this team? Again, thanks to Jared McCain, we kind of know what Kyle's going to be up to. Jared McCain says Coach Kyle is needed on this team. Jared McCain says Kyle Lowry is his OG. He's who he refers to. They speak on a daily basis. If he needs coaching, if he needs someone to talk to, or he needs a leadership or guidance, Kyle Lowry is that guy, not only for Jared, but for guys like Tyrese, Joel resorts and reverts to Kyle Lowry in crucial moments on the court, crucial moments in the game. Guys, Kyle Lowry is this team's Udonis Haslem. Kyle Lowry is this team's on-court coach. And Kyle Lowry could be one of the most important non-player players on this team. When I say non-player players, I mean players that probably won't get too much time, but you can't leave him behind. Kyle Lowry is going to be a big impact player on this team, just based off his coaching, just based off his leadership, and just based off what he brings to the table experience-wise. Which is good for Kyle, but bad for Eric Gordon, guys, because only person or only player on this team that is acknowledging Aaron Gordon's presence as a veteran, as a leader, as someone they can go to for guidance is VJ Edgecombe. And VJ Edgecombe knows Eric Gordon from the Olympic trials, from the Olympic play. Him, VJ, Klay Thompson, they're acclimated with each other because of their Bahamas play. But for Eric Gordon to spend an entire year on this season and not one player speak highly of Eric Gordon, not one player acknowledge that EG is a veteran, a leader, and someone who's going to be needed on this team, it's just not too exciting to hear. It seems like Eric Gordon was brought back on the Daryl Morey privilege plan. He's cool with Daryl Morey. Daryl probably made him a promise or two. And to make sure that Daryl's not looked at as a liar continuously throughout this league, he's got to fulfill one of his promises. It's a minimum contract. It's not that much on the cap space, but I think it's one of those things that Daryl said he would do, so he's going to continue to try to do, and that's keep Eric Gordon on the roster. Guys, there seems to be no reason for Eric Gordon to be on this roster. There seems to be no player on this team that's looking for Eric Gordon to return to this roster. And if the rumors and reports are true that Eric Gordon was the mole and the leak for Joel, was the mole and the leak for some of the personal meetings this team had last season, seems like Eric Gordon's going to be a problem in this locker room, who had problems last year with the players in this locker room. We're going to find out, guys. We're going to see. And speaking of something we're going to see, guys, you get to see the brand new stadium. The Comcast Arena has now changed to the Xfinity Live Center, which is great, okay? The Xfinity Center is great for Philadelphia fans and for Philadelphia basketball attendees because they're going to have 10 times the Wi-Fi speed. Listen, this is off-season news, guys. They did change the stadium name in Philadelphia to the Xfinity Center, which with the change of name also comes the change in Wi-Fi. Can't be called the Xfinity Center with low speed and bad reception. So the Xfinity Center has some of the fastest Wi-Fi out of all, and I'm saying all, or any arena in the NBA and just in entertainment. I think this Wi-Fi, this 10 times speed Wi-Fi, some of the fastest Wi-Fi in the NBA, NFL, MLB, any stadium, you name it. I think the Xfinity Center is where you want to be if you're doing an office paper. Hey, if you're writing scripts, sending emails, you probably want to be the Xfinity Center, conducting business while this team, I guess, is getting to business. Guys, the only reason this does matter, is because Jared McCain was there, VJ Edgecombe was there, and not only did they stand there as representations and the faces of the franchise and representatives of the Sixers organization, but guys, if the young guys are showing up to any and everything for the Sixers squad, it seems like these young guys are going to be Sixers for a very long time. Just the fact that Jared McCain shows up to something like that, the Xfinity Center grand opening, hopefully no closing, just shows that he's plugged in, locked in, and tied closely not only to this franchise, but to this city. It's just the small things that matter, small things that make you closer to the fan base, things that you would probably like to see Paul George doing. But Jared McCain is doing it, guys. So I just want to acknowledge that, guys. The Xfinity Center does have some of the fastest Wi-Fi. So if you are going to a Sixer game, which I plan to be at a few, live bets, because you got the best Wi-Fi. Hey, maybe I'll be sending some texts. Hey, and if they're getting blown out, I'll be FaceTiming my boys live streaming the game because I got the Wi-Fi to do it. Just saying, guys. Hey, leave some comments about that. We'll talk about it. And did you leave a comment initially? Did you leave a comment to begin with? Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We're going to get to these commenters, and I appreciate every one of you and each one of you commenting on this page. I want to say that Kyle Davis talked about my Mount Rushmore take. He said Allen Iverson 1, Embiid 2, Aaron McKee as the third greatest Sixer from the 2000s, and Iggy at 4. Guys, I think Elton Brand, based off of him being a Sixer player and a Sixer front office GM, this is just Mount Rushmore. Not Mount Rushmore of just players, but Mount Rushmore of Sixer greats. I think Elton Brand is one of the greatest 2000 Sixers of all time because he is a GM, because he is acclimated with the team, and because he did play for the squad and get us to the playoffs. Elton Brand should be a top 4 Mount Rushmore Sixer. I see other names like Drew Holiday. Hey, Drew Holiday could be an all-time Sixer. The only problem is I think Drew had his all-time greatest years with every other squad but us. I think his time with New Orleans, he was more feared as a defender. His time with Boston, he became a champion. Drew Holiday, seem to have a better career out of Philly. So I wouldn't put Drew on the Mount Rushmore. And my guy, Kyle Davis. Kyle, come back, brother. He said I lost him with my Ben Simmons, that Ben Simmons could be and should be in the top 4 Mount Rushmore for Sixers greats of 2000s. He was a multiple-time All-Star. He was a top defender. Got us to the second round consistently. Second best player on this team with Embiid. Ben Simmons arguably could be a top 4 Mount Rushmore player. But Kyle Davis, come back, because you may be right about that. Ben Simmons is considering retiring, guys. This is breaking news for all of us. We can talk about it a little later as well. But Ben Simmons is considering retiring, which basically means if you're thinking about retiring, you don't have the fire, you don't have the desire, and you don't have the will to win, to get better, and to compete. Ben Simmons is looking for a cash grab, and I want him not only staying clear away from my Sixers, but probably out of the NBA, guys. If you're 28 years old and you still got it, but you don't know if you want it, you probably don't need it. Ben Simmons should probably retire. We can talk about that a little later, guys, but like, comment, and subscribe. We got more to talk about, guys, and we got more for you guys to watch out for. The next episode is going to be loaded. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for the support.